So hi guys, actually this video I was supposed to start it a while back, but it hasn't started. So I I had to get pulled aside to do something real quick. So yeah, this upload is gonna be about how to change oil on your vehicle. For the most part, all the vehicles are in in plan of changing oil. They're pretty much the same. You just have the oil filter that you need to replace and drain the old oil and fill up the new stuff up to the specifications that it calls for. So you don't want to overfill it, so you have sputtering oil into your exhaust. And yep. Other than that, this video is going to be brief and short because I kind of had most of the things set up. It's going to be for a GMC Savana Cutaway 3500, and very common motor for GMCs, the 6.0. Relatively easy to do the oil change on that. It's kind of like a fast paced thingy that can get done by you, where you can save money just by buying your own oil um, and your own filter. Speaking of filters, by the way, so I personally prefer to use Mobile One filters in my vehicles, and I use Mobile One oils. So in the vehicle that I'm driving right now, well, it's Honda, but we're gonna be doing the Savannah, and it belongs to a friend of mine that I work for. And yeah, it's just regular maintenance, and it comes along, and we just get it done as it comes up. So yeah, over there about the filter is it actually calls for a small filter, the canister kind, and yeah. So what we actually do is we get the filter that lines up with does the same diameter and the same thread pattern, but it's a little taller, so you can run the oil in your engine for a little longer before you have to change the filter and all that stuff again. So I'm almost to my house, and I'll show you guys what's going to be going on. I'll show you guys all the stuff that you will need, which is going to be bare necessities, which is really cool. So let me park, and let's go and get that done. So really quick, I'm just gonna go over the stuff that we're getting. So this is the Mobile One filter that we have. Then we're gonna need our oil. This is a little too much, but I'm gonna use my partial first, and then I have a glove not to get my hand too dirty, and obviously the little funnel. This is the truck that we're doing the change on. So down to basics. Let's pop the hood. By the way, you guys can probably see I have the ramps already set up right there. Yeah, so you don't think that usually it happens a little harder than just boom, boom, done. But we get it done either way. So let's park the truck. And you want to make sure you have um, your ramps set up right to where you're not gonna miss it. So we have the tire right there, and then oh, there's Dudley right there, trying to protect the neighborhood. All right, so now I just need one more thing, which is to pop the hood and grab some sort of container that you guys want to drain your oil to. So you are not supposed to dispose of it improperly, which is like throw it in the trash or anything like that. So we'll set you guys right there, and I'll be right back. All right, so here we go. I'm 70% sure I have it here. All right, little technical, but it can be fixed really quick. So you guys give me just a brief sec. All right. So all right, I'm back. I didn't have the pan to drain the oil, so I just ended up using these buckets. I hope one should be enough. Um, and let me double check if I will not have any difficulties reaching in. All right, so let's go along and I'll show you guys some things. We're gonna be using 15 mil in particular, so we can undo the drain plug right there. There is our filter, which is what we're gonna have to replace here in a second. I recommend just open your oil cap right away. Before you change your oil, I highly recommend also to just in general check your oil often, just so you can see and monitor how it consumes it. So I hope you guys can see that still. Maybe nothing. Oh yeah. All right. So I'm gonna check my oil before I drain it, just so you know how your vehicle is performing whole times. I also recommend to keep track of your miles per gallon or per tank at least. It's easier. So we're really low on oil. So because I drove recently almost 3,000 miles since I had to fill up. So we're getting close. So we're gonna just put the funnel over there. Maybe rest it a little bit on that. If you guys want to see, funnel goes in a hole. Now, really quick, I'll just show you guys what needs to be done. This is our bolt that needs to be undone, and the filter is completely on the opposite side. So we're gonna grab our 15 mil. I prefer the ones with the rotating heads. So, and I had a glove I thought somewhere. Because sometimes this stuff can get dirty and I prefer to avoid it. So there's a rubber glove. And we're getting ready to get down to business. Oh, another actually important thing. So I'm gonna start doing it before we keep going. So with these filters, just because they're a little taller and these engines are high revving and everything is kind of like hyped up on it, I was told before to prime the filter, not to blow the insides of it out once the oil pressure rises. So I'll show you guys something right here really quick. Hopefully it's gonna settle real quick. So it starts to like moisten up the whole pad and stuff like that in there and the material. So it's gonna drain it, and then altogether this thing takes about like at least half a quart. Another important thing for all the people that are gonna be doing any sort of oil changes, to always oil the O-ring on the new filter that you're gonna be using. Now, let's see if you guys can be over here with me. That'd be cool. Where are we at? That bolt right there is the one that we're gonna loosen. We're gonna and as you see, it happens fast. Just be ready to catch it. And preferably not drop the bolt inside the bucket. I'll be right back. Since I got two buckets, I'll just let it be. And drop the filter really quick on this side, so it's out of the way. So there's my second bucket. Sorry, you guys can't really see me, but the buckets are parallel to each other. One on the passenger side, another one on the driver's side, in about the same spots. Don't over tighten your filter. Let it drip a little bit. Try to avoid the mist. I highly recommend, so you can get back in your truck without having to take 1,500 showers. And after that, you just need to tighten up the bolt um, and fill up the oil. This vehicle calls for 6 quarts of oil. And I already put about half a quart, which is what I'm gonna do again now, is to prime it a little more. Take you guys with me this time and show you what's going on. So do you see how much is settled? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take more oil and add. Now making a little spill is okay. This is the O-ring that I was telling you guys about. Always make sure you oil it. So when the engine gets hot, the oil will prevent the rubber from getting stuck on it. So yeah, as I was saying, it drops pretty fast. let it sit for a little bit and let's check what we got going on. I guess there's still a little bit dripping, you guys can see it. But that is pretty much it. Now, once we have our oil in this filter, what we can do now is, usually you want to get it as full as possible, but no big deal if you don't, as long as you have hefty amount of oil in there. We're gonna leave it up again, just to make sure everything is good. And off we go. That's what I was saying about the second bucket. There's the thread, so you always wanna thread it up by hand first. Make sure that it's straight and it spins freely, and then the rest of it will just go on. For some people, just so you guys know, there is also tools that could help you if you're having a hard time getting the filter out. It's like a little thingy that wraps around and tighten it works. Now, as you can see, we're still dripping a tiny bit, but that's all good. What we need to do now is we're gonna go to the other side. Once again, resort to our 15 mil. Oh, I left the bolt right here. Sorry, guys. There's the bolt, and this is exactly where it's gonna go. Once again, you hand thread it first. Doesn't spin, and then you just tighten it up. Oh, shoot. All right. Gonna move one bucket right there, another bucket right here. The little drips right here, we try to avoid them. So what we do next is we take a little piece of rag that we used even for the chicken oil prior to. Gonna wipe everything down. You have it nice and clean. And now the fun things. So I will try to have you guys be able to see me. So maybe something like right here. Okay, we're still there. I hope you guys can. So I already got this set up. Let's use the last of what we got first. And on these in particular vehicles, I recommend for those that are kind of new to it and in general, just try to use funnels all the time to keep your engine bay clean and prevent spills and little accidents, and try to keep all your stuff clean usually. Even your tools after you use them, just wipe them down just so it's not all messy when you get to it next time. And yeah, so I might not even need to use. Little trick of the trade. I was advised also to keep, when you puncture the seal, just keep the little lip around it so you can so you can avoid, just in case if it spills in your truck or cart, you can avoid, um, if it tips, you can avoid spilling. That's what it is, sorry. And I'm still filling the oil. Once again, it calls for 6 quarts. Um, so far we have about 1.5 in there, maybe almost 2, but um, yeah, so 1 gallon comes with 5, and we'll just need to use like at least 3, maybe 4 of this. But we have to be careful and just read your readings that are back here on the back of the bottle, at least with Mobile One, but usually most of the oil jugs will have divisions for you to be able to keep track of usage. Now we're getting closer there. I'm gonna do 3.5 for right now. No, I already did 4. Oh, actually only 3 so far. So we're gonna keep adding until we get just below 5 left in there. Let your funnel drip a little bit. Keep your oil close by until you finish. Now, right there, I usually try to put my funnel inside the oil bottle, not to have it drip all over the place. Once again, pull the stick, check your oil until it's dry. Because I had it already out, wipe it off one more time just to make sure. And you can reinsert it just a tad for when you're doing the pressure test. And get your oil up so you can actually check it. Now, where were the keys at? Good one. Check your bottom as you're waiting to pressurize it for any leaks. I don't see anything right here. Let's check the other side really quick where the drain plug is. Nothing here. We're good. So at this point, we'll just turn off the vehicle, check the oil level, and add oil if we need to, or hopefully you didn't overfill it, so um, you don't need to drain any. Because as I mentioned before, your vehicle does not like to be overfilled. So we're reading on the oil stick that it is, I hope you guys can actually see it, but you see where the dots disappear? There's supposed to be actually 5 dots. But you can only see 1, 2, and barely 3. So I am at the third one, which is in the middle, is halfway. So I'll just need to add half a quart. And that is it. Thank you.